In this video help, I'm going to be covering this video for the customer list screen. This is a very short video, so it should be very helpful too. The list screen from the customer screen is providing information for the individual clients that are listed in individual records for the customer screen. The way you use this application, you're using all the different customers that are available, and you can find them in this screen. If you need to find a specific customer, you can use the do find and then type into a field and go ahead and type in the default information that you want to put in there, and then click the perform find, which will find the record or records that have that information in them. Let's use an example in this case. If I wanted to find all the customers that were from Vacaville, I could go ahead and start this by saying do find and then put Vac or Vacaville and then go ahead and hit the perform find, and those records for clients from Vacaville would be shown. Obviously, if I wanted to look for a specific client, I could go ahead, for example, and hit Ben. In this case, the drop-down gives me the actual choice, so I can go ahead and say perform the find, and then it gives me that individual record. Now, another thing that you want to do when you're working with these finds is that when you get done using them, go ahead and click on the Show All record again, which brings back all the records. The reason you do that is that if you go back into the customer records, only those records that are in selection currently from your find will be shown, and that is the same case if you create a find in the customer main screen. Only those records that you found in the set will be shown on the list view. So if you come to the list view and there are fewer records than you anticipated, just go ahead and click on the Show All to return all the new records to the screen. Now, there are some kind of interesting records that you can create when you're creating your own application. For example, this case where I have a walk-in customer, this would be a customer that did not come in with a check or credit card for the purchase, and you just don't have to take their information, you know, as far as the customer data is concerned, and you just put them and select them as a walk-in customer, say, for example, on the invoice. If you're using the invoice and you're not going to be taking the client information, then they are a walk-in customer. If you want to be able to have customers that you want to be able to send emails to track them when they come in and know what sales were made by that customer, you can create a quick record in the customer individual screen, and that record will be used to give additional information more than is actually shown in the list view. Now, in the list view also, there is a set of buttons over in the corner, and this is an omit. And what does an omit record mean with the icon? That means if you click this, watch Mary Ellen, and she disappears. If you only want to see her now and you say show only omitted, then Mary Ellen will be the only record shown. And as I stated before, you can say show all and they will all return. If you want to hide and show the menus at the top of the screen, this is like on the iPad when you say, for example, you want more screen space. Until you actually need the menus on the screen, you can click and it'll hide the menu options at the top and bottom of the screen, so you can use the full area of the screen. Then again, if you want to come back and show the menu options, you would click this again, and what it would do is it would return the menus to the screen, so it toggles in both directions. In each record within the main screen, there is a field called Notes. And in this case, if you want to be able to see those notes, you can click on the record at the top, and you'll see that the record within that main screen is here, and you can add as much data as you want. And this is scrollable, so you can have all the information you need to want to view. And let's actually go into the customer record to see this record. You can see that the same data is shown in the customer notes here on the customer screen. If you expand this and you just want to be able to jump out and look at a list view, you can go ahead and use that to find the notes on that screen. In this case, each individual record has their own notes available to you. So for example, if I went down here to the bottom and clicked on this, you can see that there are different sets of information for each button on the screen. Once again, just so you can see I did it, this returns you to the customer record so you can see all the information for the customer record. Okay, if you have any questions, as usual, go ahead and contact me for additional information. Thank you.